If you think Rome has always been Italy's capital, you'd be wrong. When Italy became a unified country in 1861, the capital was actually Turin. It was the political heart of the House of Savoy, the royal family that helped unite the country. A few years later, the capital moved to Florence, which was seen as a more central choice for the still-growing kingdom. Then, once Rome became part of Italy, it finally took the role in 1871. So the capital we all know today was actually the third one. Turin's time as a capital still shows in the way the city looks today. For centuries, it was home to the House of Savoy, and they shaped Turin into a city meant to feel elegant and important, with grand palaces, wide squares, and long, straight avenues. If your image of an Italian city is narrow streets, crowded buildings, and a little bit of chaos, Turin might surprise you. Much of its center feels more spacious, organized, and almost unusually refined. But among all those elegant streets and royal buildings, one structure stands above everything else, the Mole Antonelliana. Today it's the symbol of Turin, but it was originally meant to be a synagogue. The project became far more ambitious than expected, and the city eventually took it over. Now, instead of being a place of worship, it houses the National Museum of Cinema, a fitting home in a city that played an important role in the early days of Italian film. Turin's identity wasn't shaped only by kings, palaces, and culture. After losing its role as Italy's political capital, the city gradually found a new identity, becoming the country's industrial powerhouse. That change became closely tied to FIAT, founded in Turin in 1899. The company helped transform the city, bringing factories, jobs, and a whole new rhythm of life. And nowhere is that story more visible than at Lingotto, the famous FIAT factory where cars moved through the building during production, before reaching a test track built right on the roof. It was one of the most unusual factories of its time, and the track is still there today. For a city so closely tied to factories and cars, Turin can feel surprisingly green. The Po River runs along the city, tree-lined streets cut through many neighborhoods, and places like Valentino Park give Turin a much softer side. There are long riverside walks, open spaces, and plenty of spots where the city suddenly feels calm and relaxed. It's a nice contrast, a place with a strong industrial past, but also plenty of room to slow down, walk, and simply enjoy the surroundings. Turin still has a few surprises that don't quite fit the image you might have of the city. One of them is the Egyptian Museum, home to one of the world's most important collections of artifacts from ancient Egypt. But some of Turin's most distinctive traditions aren't found inside museums at all. They're part of everyday life, especially when it comes to food and drink. And this is where Turin becomes a lot more personal. The city has a long love affair with chocolate, especially gianduja, the smooth mix of chocolate and local hazelnuts that became one of Piedmont's signature flavors. That same love for rich flavors also appears in Turin, Turin's traditional drink made with coffee, chocolate, and cream. Coffee itself is part of the city's identity too. Lavazza was founded here, turning a local coffee business into one of Italy's best-known names around the world. And if you prefer something stronger, Turin also has deep ties to vermouth, the aromatic fortified wine that became a key part of the Italian aperitivo tradition. But there's another side of Turin's identity that carries a very different kind of emotion. High above the city stands the Basilica of Superga, one of Turin's most recognizable landmarks and a place with a deep connection to its history. It also holds a special place in Italian football. In 1949, a plane carrying the legendary Grande Torino team crashed into the hill near the Basilica, taking the lives of almost the entire squad. And while Torino carries that emotional history, the city is also home to Juventus, one of the most famous football clubs in the world, giving Turin two very different but equally important football identities. Beyond all the history, industry, and culture, there's one thing that gives Turin a setting few cities can match. On clear days, the Alps rise behind the city, with snow-covered peaks stretching across the horizon. It's the perfect final contrast for Turin, elegant, industrial, green, and always framed by the mountains. A city that has changed many times but never lost the landscape that makes it unmistakably its own. If you enjoyed this video, you know what you have to do, my friend. Come on, don't be shy, hit those buttons, and you will get more content like this. It was a pleasure to have you here, buddy. Take care, and I hope I will see you in another video.